today is in today is a major milestone and success story.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ayodele Akinwumi, and I'm the Chief Economist, United Capital PLC. On behalf of the board and management of United Capital PLC, I'd like to sincerely thank you for making our time to come to us this morning for this event. This is one of the many events that we have put together to engage the investment community, to engage our shareholders, analysts, financial journalists, and then the investing public, and to have an opportunity where we will be able to interact with our executive management team, to also give an opportunity for us to tell you our story. We've been around for over 6 decades, over 60 years. I think a lot of people here, very few people here are older than 60 years. Are you one of them? Yeah. So the institution we gathered together for this morning is older than myself and many of us in the room. We feel it's necessary for us to tell our story more and then to engage you, to engage the public, the shareholders, the analysts, financial journalists, and then to be able to see opportunities and see what we are seeing. Why some of us wake up very early in the morning, around 3 a.m., where we are energized to work for this great institution. Before I proceed further, I'd like to thank the group CEO, Mr. Peter Ashade, who just walked in. Please let's put our hands together for him. That's the man who is driving the strategies of this organization. For me, it's a great honor and great privilege to work with him. I joined this company last year, about 1 year ago now. And each time I speak to clients and said, oh, where I was coming from, I spent 19 and a half years there. And so for me to leave, to have worked in a place for 19 and a half years, and then to come to a company like this, it means they are doing something great. And looking back, I can say I made the right decisions to join. Thank you. And on the front row, we have other some of our MDs. As time goes by, I'm going to introduce them more. I have the MD of the asset management. We have Dr. Odiri. We have the MD of investment banking, Dr. Badebo, who Dr. Odiri is a doctor by learning, by reading books. But Dr. Badebo is a doctor by being a medical doctor. But he has a different ministry. He read medicine, but we need him more in this industry. And he's been doing excellently well. I'm not sure there's anybody in this industry that is better than him in investment banking. So please, let's put our hands together for him. Next to him, I have Madam Adetola, who is the MD of our wealth management. You have dollar under your pillow. Speak to that woman immediately after now, or you have some structured transactions. Please speak to her after this session. The next man to him, I won't tell him what we call him in UCAP. But if you want to amplify your return in the stock market, in the financial market, please speak to him. He will give you money to ensure that your return goes further. So he's the MD of our consumer finance, and he's there. The next to him is director in charge of our retail and digital business. All the transformation that you are seeing on our website or app, that's the man in charge of it. Next to our group CEO is I call him global Group CFO. You will know better why I call him that very shortly, because United Capital is no longer in Nigeria. We operate in about 12 African countries now. So that's Shedrack, the man in charge of all the numbers that we are seeing. So please, let's put our good for him. Apologies, I miss a wonderful woman there. That's the woman who is leading our microfinance bank. We are proud to say they don't use paper there, digital bank. Please, let's put our good for her, Madam Exter. Next to our CFO is our company secretary. That's Dr. Salio. Please, let's put our hands together for him. And other senior management team of the institution. So without much ado, I would like to call our group CEO, to Mr. Peter Ashade, to move forward and to give the opening remark. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure. Hello? So, can you hear? So it gives me great pleasure to be here this morning. Let me sincerely appreciate all our partners, our various stakeholders, shareholders, financial journalists here, clients, investors, analysts that are here today, my team here and virtual. Today is quite very, very exciting. I want to welcome everyone to this room today. And as you can see, this is one of another new from United Capital. What you have been used to has been a virtual quarterly investors and analyst call. And we have decided, in line with our DNA, to do things differently, because we believe in the slogan, if you want a different result, you do it differently. Because we believe what lies ahead is far, far bigger than the virtual session that we have always had. And we need to, talk about the facts behind the figures. As you have seen the numbers that we posted for H1. Permit me to thank and welcome everyone to this session, and sincerely grateful. Why? Because even early morning rain could have precluded a lot of people from coming today. But here we are. We are happy to have you, United Capital. I want to thank our audience, especially the analysts, for your coverage. Consistently, you have always covered United Capital. We've seen a lot of write-up about United Capital, but thank you for the support that you play in shaping how the market sees us and engage. Since when we posted our results on Monday, there has been a lot of write-up. Some of my friends even sent some write-up to me last night, and it was quite very encouraging when we see this. We want to acknowledge the growth and the trust that you have in us, both the financial journalists and other key players. I'm so delighted and happy, and we say thank you. Let me appreciate my team here. So what you've seen and what you're going to see going forward, it is not only the work of Peter. It's a collective effort, collective responsibility, believe in the vision that lies ahead. I want to thank especially Okwe joining us today. We're happy. That is one of our newest CEO. He just left. Formerly, he was our group treasurer. You've seen in the next 5 years, virtually 80% of the CEO in the capital market will be from United Capital. because that's what we are building. We are building an institution that transcends numbers. We believe in our people. We train them. I always tell my team, and they know, every of our meeting is a training point. And I always tell them, I want to look back in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, and say 80%, 90% of CEOs are from United Capital. And that is, if there is anything as a leader that I look forward to, that is it. And that drives, fuel my energy every day to ensure that my people are better than who they are by the time they joined us. So we're happy to have Ope here. He's now the CEO of Custodian Asset Management. Thank you so much and he's still part of the team anyway. So we welcome. This roundtable is a different one entirely because it's a two-way. We're going to create, usually when we have a quarterly session, it's always one hour. And at the end of 1 hour, we'll first land it. Either we end or not, we'll first land it. But this one, we have created a bandwidth of 2.5, 3 hours that will enable us to interact, especially with our friends, journalist friends, analysts from different houses that are represented, other stakeholders, investors that are here virtually and here, so that you'll be able to see what is really fueling our growth. Where are we even coming from? And you can, ask relevant questions that will clear your doubt as far as now is concerned. I recall 8 years ago, coincidentally, this month happens to be my 8th year because I joined in July 2018. And looking back, it's been a very wonderful story, though tough, but then I recall taking over then in July. Between July and October, the share price dropped to like 2 naira 87 kobo from 3 naira 30 something kobo. And I told some of my friends, say, if you don't have United Capital shares, go and buy. And I'm telling everyone that is here today, if you don't have United Capital today, go and buy. Yes, we are sure of the journey ahead. So then it was 2 naira. At a point, we got to 27 naira before we did our bonus, 2 for everyone, and we even paid dividend the same year. And that readjusted our share price. But we are positive about what lies ahead. That's why we are confident to come and talk about United Capital. And we present to you today a new United Capital. Why a new United Capital? 8 years ago, we are just a capital market operator. 4 businesses, all regulated by SEC. Today, we are not just a capital market operator. We are a full financial services group, because we are not only today regulated by SEC, we have 3 regulators in each of our businesses, as it were. So we have moved from being just ordinary capital market operator to a full financial services group. And you're going to see more indicated. Not only that, 8 years ago, we were only 4 businesses. As we speak today, we have 7 businesses and 2 associates. So 7 businesses and 2 associates. We have our asset management, investment banking, which is the flagship. Technically, we operate an operating holdco, so to speak, because we have investment banking at the center that holds 100% in all the other businesses. And at the center, that is where the listed company happen to be the investment banking. So from there, you have the investment banking, asset management business, trust business, a security business. We have a security business. We have wealth management business. We have a microfinance, that is digital bank business, and we have a consumer finance. So as we speak today, we have 3 regulators. Possibly in some years to come, we may have up to 4 or 5 regulators in line with our vision. That is quite very clear. So for you, also is not just another United Capital by the side. That is a new United Capital in the making. Not only that, that's number one side. 8 years ago, we set out as a Nigeria institution. Today, we are driven by a Pan-African vision. And that is why we are not only operating in Nigeria, but we are operating in 12 African countries. And these, we saw the vision 8 years ago. We started implementing it 2 years ago. Within 2 years, we have been able to do, a lot has happened in terms of the direction that things have gone. In terms of the breadth of what we were intentional in as we set out. There are lots of things that were not there then that we have decided that if we set the right foundation, that really help in terms of our growth trajectory, as it were. It's just like when we coming up with we started with our consumer finance, and we gave 3 years to ourselves that in 3 years, if we're able to succeed in our consumer finance, we're going to have microfinance operating as a digital bank. 2 years down the line, the consumer finance was so successful that we had to first land the microfinance to come to life. And I recall in 2018, when we had session and our total fund under management then less than 100 billion naira. And we agreed that by 2027, we want to be a 1 trillion naira institution. 2018, 2027, we want to be a 1 trillion naira institution. But by 2022, we crossed 1 trillion. Why? Because for everything we do, one of our 3 core values, number 1 is execution. Number 2 talks about excellence. And number 3 talks about entrepreneurship. We are clear. Execution. When we agree on things, we get it done. We don't compromise. And this has really helped in terms of how we have, escalated our stage of play. We acknowledge that to be in Africa is a totally different ballgame entirely. And we were set up for that. And I will let you get a little tips into that shortly. And in trying to do this, what we look at, we did not just create a business to, just because we want to create that. We came from the customer standpoint. We identify solutions, and that is what we believe in most of the things. Even in our product development, I recall, our product development. We have a product development team, and I said, no, it can't be product development. We don't call it product development. We call it solution development, because it is the solution you are bringing. For every product you set up must solve a particular issue, and the same way with each of the businesses we have set up. The additional 3 we have set up today, and by the way, I said 7 businesses and 2 associates. We have 25% each in here's assurance and here's general. 25. And that's why when you see our numbers, you will see income from associates there. And as you are aware, just some couple of, I think 1 month ago, we just bought 5% in NGX. That is very strategic. It is very strategic. And you'll get to know very soon. It's just like when we started our African journey, and now it's making meaning. Then it was like child's play. So we are very, very strategic in each of our business decisions. It is not about just we want to amplify no. It is about being focused, being determined, be intentional. And this has really, to a very large extent, really helped us. We have today a wide range of diversified earnings, and that is what you see in United Capital, diversified earnings. And that is why, regardless of what happened in the country, United Capital will always make money. If the capital market, especially the equity market, NDX and all the listed company, if it's doing very fine, we'll make money. If the money market, we have 2 sides to the market. We have the capital market side, we have the money market side. If the money market is up and the interest rate is there, we will make, because we have businesses that are playing in that curve. If the capital market is on the offside today We will definitely, because we have that. So regardless of where the pendulum swing, and our earnings is diversified, and more, synergies across the business lines, that is really giving us the impact that we drive. And when we tie this to all what is happening around us, the way we engage, our modeling and covering, and so in terms of your reporting about United Capital now should change, because today's United Capital is totally different from yesterday's own. Yes, because I can tell you, you have a lot to write about United Capital. H1 is gone. H2, be ready. Be ready. From today, by August, we are launching some new thing. By September, you're going to hear some new thing. By October, another one coming. By December, another one. They are lined up. We are here to rewrite the narratives about impact in Africa. So we were determined as we move out, and I can assure you, a new United Capital has been given birth, and we will pursue it with all sense of responsibility and accountability, transparency. Part of what we are trying to do today is to be transparent, nothing to hide. We lay all the cards on the table, and we're going to see. We are not just dreamers. We are not just dreamers. It's good to dream, but we must action your dream. In terms of our growth and expansion, since 2028, and just like I said, from just Nigeria, we operate in 12 African countries today, and still counting. Because I can tell you, yes, we sit here in Nigeria, and we say, those countries, how many? What's the population? Oh, small population, just 14 million. Rwanda, for instance, that's 14 million. I can tell you, Rwanda is another Swiss of Africa. That is that country. You are seeing another Swiss of Africa where things work. We are there, and we could see the way things are structured, the governance, the people, these policies and technology. How we're talking, and they said everybody in Rwanda, you can't hide. Everybody has social security number. They have planned everything in terms of, if you want to know the people above the line, it's just a click of a button. We generate it. That is the country. So for us, it is not only about population, it's about the value. That is what we pursue. It's about the value that we see in any of this country. So we are excited about our African journey. Extremely, extremely excited. And you're going to see more to come as we go. In terms of growth, we clock our 1 trillion in 2022. By this year, we have crossed our 2 trillion. We're already operating about 2.2 or 2.3 trillion in terms of growth. You see, all these numbers, when you say, it's not a child's play. And again, when you see this, for me, it's a sign of confidence. Confidence from the client, confidence from the investors, confidence from stakeholders, confidence about our partner in the media, what they write about us, because people rely on your write-up. People rely on the direction that you guide in terms of this. And we'll continue to build that as we focus there. As you are aware, for Rwanda and Ethiopia, we happen to be the first Africa financial services institution that are registered in those two countries. So especially for Rwanda, it's the capital market. We have some banks, Nigerian banks in Rwanda, but for Ethiopia, no bank at all, no Nigerian bank there, not even one. We happen to be the first, and we were intentional. This was a journey that took us over a year, and we were determined in engaging the regulator. As of today, we are happy. We thank God. We are playing this role, and in my post yesterday, the intro of my statement states that when we go to Africa, we do not go to Africa to represent United Capital Group alone. We go to Africa to represent Nigeria because we believe in Nigeria. We believe that Nigeria is, yes, we have said it's the big brother in Africa, but we must start integrating the journey of integrating Africa because Africa is now. Yes, Africa is now. So we believe in it, and that is why we are playing. Beyond the business line and geography, our balance sheet has grown significantly within this period. Our share price performance, you can expect. I asked my team to do an analysis for me. As at last year, we have increased the wealth for shareholder by over 2,500% within the last 8 years. Consistently, and the data that speaks to this in the public domain. And one of the things I've said consistently, even in the press release that we sent out on Monday, that we will continually increase the wealth of the shareholders. It's one of the critical things. Before 2018, we were not paying interim dividend. Now, in the last 3 years, consistently, we are paying interim dividend. We have clear dividend policies. But one thing that even every of our decision, business decision, we always have the interest of the investor in mind. We're particular about it, and we continue to drive this to ensure that we believe that United Capital is grossly undervalued today. But before the end of the year, the accurate price will reflect itself when you see a lot that will be coming. In terms of our people and structure, I must tell you the governance now is totally different from what we had in place in 20. And that's why I talk about new United Capital, what we had in 2018. Significant change in the structure and the governance, both from the people and from the structure. Today, we have, at the center, we have other executive that plays both the front end and the back end. We have CEOs across each of the businesses as they are here, all the 7 businesses that we have here. We have our region, Nigeria, a director focusing on region Nigeria. We have a director focusing on region Africa. These are not what the governance structure that were in place before. We are strong on risk today. We have retinue of almost 7 to 8 people in our risk unit because we believe as we are growing in terms of technology, in terms of going to different climes, our risk aperture will equally grow alongside. We are not unmindful of that. We continue to strengthen the framework because governance is key, and we're really working on it to ensure that we're able to do this. Not only that, before now, yes, we have an investor relation, but we decide to change. We have a research unit, but we have decided that no, we don't want to have just ordinary research unit again. We want to have an investor relation unit with a research color. So we have that, and that was why we decided that we need, because of our growth trajectory, that we do not need. Then we had head of research, but said no. So for us, we don't act, then think. We think, then act. So 5 years ago, I recall telling my team that the way we were growing, as at then we are not even in Africa, that we need a chief economist. And not just anybody. I want someone that is strong, tested, and trusted, that believe in research, that believe in investor relation. We were clear about it. It took us consistently. I recall I was meeting teams. It took us quite some time. But at the end of the day, I think if there's anything I wake up in the morning and thank God for, is that I did not make any mistake, getting Ayo Akinwumi to be our chief economist. With this, it has changed the color of what you should expect from United Capital, because we are always intentional in our. It's just like now we have a director Africa. We are intentional. Because we know we want to. Before we even get there, we had it. We need this. We have a director Africa. The primary responsibility is focus Africa, drive Africa, see value there, bring it to the table, extract value from there, add it, increase the wealth of shareholders. We know research is very key, and we're intentional. We need a chief economist that will enable us see beyond Nigeria. As of today now, We do not write only about Nigeria. I know every week we write about Africa. So we send Africa. I recall last week I was in Ethiopia and I was saying, come, we don't have people that will write about Africa. And I say, wait, we have the structure in Nigeria. We're ready for you. We will focus on the market and give them, because research matter. People want to take investment decision, but they want professionals to guide their thought, and they're waiting. So the market is waiting. We are positioned for it, and that is how each of our steps, as we have taken it today, not only in the business line, but even in the support line. And we try as much as possible to ensure that. So what you see here today, we talk about investor relation roundtable. 5 years ago, we not see. 3 years ago, you not see this. This is still part of the new from United Capital stable. And now we are engaging you directly on one-on-one, because we believe you deserve to know most of these things. And again, this structure is, empowers us as a major strategy that we have put in place over time. And we can assure you that we can adequately maintain our growth trajectory today. With the structure we have, we'll just need to build on it as we go and into the future. Our ambition is clear, but we believe that we can just, have a, together we can work on it to achieve the desired goal. Looking ahead, I can tell you, where I start from. I tell you, if you don't have United Capital, buy. Because just like H2, we are extremely excited about what lies ahead in H2, because the retuning of what has been put in place that we're going to launch, we're going to open, a lot. We are, retooling our technology. We are looking at retail, a lot that is happening. So a lot from our media friends, we want to convey that, play along with us, walk along with us. A lot that's going to happen in H2 from United Capital. A lot, very exciting moment for us. So that is why today we are laying the foundation and the stage of play for those exciting moments that we're going to see in H2 2026. A lot that is going to see, and our team are ready. Our BMCC team, led by Babatunde Adenuga, you're going to see the relationship with the different community, as it were, is going to be more stronger. We are looking forward to the future. We believe in country Nigeria. I can assure you, we believe in Nigeria, and we believe that in Nigeria, the journey is just starting. And we are positioning ourselves not just another capital market operator, and I repeat, but as a full financial services group that can meet all your need when it comes to anything. And that's why so before you know what is going on now, maybe in the nearest future, we'll be acquiring a commercial bank to be part of our team. It is about future dream. So we believe that there is nothing, and one thing that has driven us, impossibility is not in addition. I don't believe there's anything that's not achievable. We don't. But we always believe, if you can envision it, you can achieve it. That's our slogan. If you can envision it, then you can achieve it. It has really helped the journey so far. Most of what you see, we envision it, we discuss it, we drive it, we put structure around it, and we execute. And this has led us there. We are positioning United Capital today, looking forward as an organization that is equipping itself. We are equipping from our people to our technology, to our governance, to our structure. We are equipping everything. We are retooling, because what we see ahead is bigger than where we are today. And we know for us to take advantage of that, we can't run business as usual and stakeholder engagement as we go. We give is such that we do also want to assure the audience, both virtual and physical, that the journey is becoming interesting. We're going to look together and ensure that cross business, existing line of business, new line of business, new thing will start happening. We want to continue to excite in terms of product development, excite in terms of use of technology, excite in terms of new people joining, excite in terms of new geographies, excite in terms of new businesses joining the team. These are what we see in the future, and we continue to drive this, which is key. We reaffirm the group commitment to transparency. Very key, very key. And this is one of the something. Consistent engagement with analysts, investors, and media, and invite audience to hold the group accountable for these comments. We believe in what we're saying. We believe in how God has helped us thus far. And we believe that together we can make a very great institution that can stand the test of time and can be the catalyst to generate and change the narrative of African financial ecosystem. For us, we are optimistic, we are confident about what lies ahead. And if you notice, and from the research point of view, we always say the year before the election, the activity in the economy is always down. But this year has been a different thing entirely. And that again, one of the things that we say to ourselves is, growing up, we'll see institutions, individuals saying we want to have 10 years strategic plan. After some time, they discover that 10 years is becoming too long. They reduce it to 5 years. 5 years is becoming too long. With the advent of AI, even 1 month is too long. Because before you know what is going on, what you agree in the morning, something will happen in the afternoon and will change the color of all your plans. And that is it. So we are on touch point when it comes to validating what is happening in our environment. And the beauty is that if 8 years ago, our stage of play is in Nigeria, where we extract value is Nigeria, 8 years down the line, our stage of play is in Africa. Value is, the stage of play to extract value is becoming bigger. So, and as we grow bigger, it makes a whole lot of difference. I want to sincerely appreciate everyone has taken time, virtually and physically, to attend this session and to say this is a journey that we started together. We are very proud that we have been partners in progress, and we want to reassure you the new United Capital will deliver value. God grace, as we see ourselves, when we come back here early 2027, we'll look back and say, but you said one thing has been, we'll be consistent about what we say we want to do, and God's on our side. We'll celebrate together, and by 2027, shareholders will smile even better than 2026 to their bank account when they get their alert for dividend. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good to see you. Thank you. If you didn't hear any of the things he said, please hear the fact that if you don't have United Capital PLC shares, please go and buy. Last year, my team members did some analysis, and they realized that if you had invested 1 million naira in the shares of United Capital PLC on 2nd of January 2020, I said sometimes last year, that 1 million naira had turned to over 50 million naira. So I showed the result to someone, one of my colleagues in UCAP. He now said, Ayo. And on 2nd of January 2020, I was in this company and I had 1 million naira to invest. I did not invest it. In the next 5 years, don't say we did not tell you. Don't say, and the group CEO said they have acquired 5% of the shares of the most innovative stock exchange in Africa. And nobody paid attention to that to know what's going to be the impact of that on shareholders' value. He said we have 25% in 2 insurance companies, a sector that is about to leap. Last year, the NICOM developed and President signed up an insurance bill that is about to transform that industry. And the group CEO just said we have 25% of one of the fastest growing players in that industry. And I hope it didn't fall on where you did not take note of that. And he said we've moved to Africa, in Ethiopia, in Rwanda, places that are opening up their market, that saying we are ready for business. A word is enough. What I do is when I get dividend from UCAP, I plow it back to UCAP. I had UCAP before I joined UCAP last year, and I've not sold, and I'm not going to sell. I'm close to retirement. I'm building it for retirement. Because UCAP qualifies as an income stock that a retiree can use for retirement. Pays interim dividend and pay final dividends consistently in the last 3 years. And since it has been listed, they've been paying dividend. UCAP qualifies as a growth stock. That a company that has been declaring that have been growing high double digits, both top line and bottom line. I mean, our global CFO will come in very shortly to tell you those numbers. So it qualifies as a growth stock. UCAP qualifies as a value stock. Name it. UCAP qualifies as a defensive stock. I mean, the market went down, but this stock remains. The volatility is low. If you don't have it in your portfolio, I don't know what you are looking at. So, very shortly, so thank you very much, Group CEO, and we are glad to receive that from you. I also want to recognize our Chief Risk Officer, and in the person of Mr. Olufemi. Please, let's put our hands together for him. One of my former bosses said that one of the reasons why a car moves faster is because there is a brake inside the car. This is the man that makes us to move faster. Can you stand up for recognition? We don't want to make all the demands and then we just lose it by making certain mistakes. So the man is one of the best in this industry, in that space. He will tell us, you can't do this, you can't do this, this is what you can do. So thank you very much for when we want to run and for pulling us back to say this is how we need to do it, for all the guidance you provide. So very shortly now, we're going to release, just watch a short video that talks about the capability of United Capital PLC. So, Babs, are we ready? Thank you very much.
Today is a major milestone in success. About 6 decades ago, United Capital came out of the embryo of UBA PLC. In 2010, we became a standalone business with the name UBA Capital. But precisely 11th of January 2013, our United Capital, then UBA Capital, became the first investment bank company that got listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange then, now a Nigeria Exchange, and we commenced our operation. As of now, the 4 businesses in 2013 and as of 2018, we now have 7 businesses in the portfolio of United Capital Group.
Hi, I'm Dr. Badi Baderele. I'm MD CEO of United Capital Investment Banking.
My name is Dr. Odiri Ogini. I'm the Managing Director and Chief Executive of United Capital Asset Management.
My name is Bawo Oyesedafo. I'm the MD CEO of United Capital Securities.
My name is Michael Abionu Thomas, MD CEO of United Capital Trustees.
My name is Esther Adiola Balogun. I'm the MD CEO, UC Microfinance Bank.
Our clients are divided into mainly corporates and government. The services we provide are split across the buy side and the sell side. We do advisory, we do mergers and acquisitions, corporate restructurings for corporates, for companies. We also have the equity capital markets, and same thing for debt capital markets. We also have the project finance side of the business. We also have a borrowed funds business where, as United Capital, we raise capital from the market through the commercial papers and the bond markets, and we're able to deploy those fundings to businesses that need them.
So United Capital Asset Management is an investment management firm. So our major focus is really around helping individuals, institutional clients, and sovereign entities to manage their investment portfolio and make the right investment decision when it comes to their money. And we do that under 3 platforms. First, we create and then we manage mutual funds. The second one is that we help build a bespoke portfolio that suits you. So we call that a managed fund portfolio. So that can be discretionary, which means that we can tell you where to invest your money, and then you invest your money. Or you can tell us where you want to invest your money, and then we walk you through on how to go about investing your money.
Generally, we provide trust services to individuals, corporate entity. And when I say corporate, I mean large, medium, small, and medium-sized enterprises. And so we are able to help individuals to plan their assets, the different classes of assets, in a way that whatever you have or you have worked so hard for over the years, you can determine the distribution. You can do it in a seamless manner to reduce the scrambling within families, which is very prevalent in our society today.
Our universe of clients goes across both the retail clients and the institutional clients. For the retail clients, basically we just offer them the opportunity to buy or sell securities through us. But for the HNIs or additional clients, we segment them into 2. We have the non-discretionary portfolio clients and then the discretionary portfolio clients. The license we have covers both fixed income securities and equities.
UC Microfinance Bank is a digital-first microfinance bank. At the heart of what we do is the customer. We are customer-centric, and that is why we have that tagline, Care for You. We have the digital outlets to serve people via the mobile app, the web app, and our USSD channel. And so everybody everywhere in Nigeria can access our products and services.
What is happening today is history in the making. It's a further demonstration of our commitment to creating and finding African solution from within by Africans, leveraging our African resources.
I'm interested to note that we are not just another financial institution by the line. We are here to enrich lives and empower your dream. And that is why for us, as United Capital Group, we will always be here for you.
Much? Okay. Thank you very much for that beautiful video. So, whoever you are, you're a corporate, you want to raise money, we have the best in the market. You have 10,000 naira you want to invest, you are welcome. One of the things that I tell people is that if you invest 20,000 naira consistently, for 40 years at 15%. At the end of the 40 years, you have like 500 million naira. That's not the miracle. The miracle is the fact that each month, on the month 40, December 40 years from now, you'll be heading millions of naira as interest per month. So if you want to start that, we have one of the best in the market in this business that you can speak with after this event. We are driving all manner of, we also have children mutual funds train up your children in the way to go. When they grow up, they will not depart from it. So we catch them young at that level. So now I'm going to quickly talk about the operating environment. We have a slide that we're going to give to you. So, but I don't need to go through the slide where it is, but just to talk through what our expectations are, what has happened in the first half of this year, and what we think may likely happen in the second half of the year. So I will look at macroeconomy, some favorite things. People talk about 1 trillion economy for Nigeria. And so, you have to grow at 17% before you can do that. Oh, you have to go at 30% before you can go that. And I tell people that the transformation that is happening in Nigeria today is opening up new sectors. Road construction, rail construction, are opening up new sectors. So if you are growing by the current structural growth, you may not achieve 1 trillion economy very shortly. You will need to grow about, like I said, 17 to 30% annually. We are growing about, I may say we're going to grow about 4% this year. Still better than our population growth rate. However, new sectors are emerging. Look at what is happening in oil and gas. Today, we are a net exporter of refined products. That is reducing our dependence on importation, almost eliminating it, creating stability in foreign exchange for us. We have a lot of clients now who are thinking about how do we then go ahead to move our dollar investment to naira investments. So, and all as this transformation are taking place, the government is also working to ensure that they drive non-oil mineral resources. We are talking about solid mineral resources in Nigeria. Lithium, Nigeria has one of the best in the world. And that is the major material that you use for EV. When you move down Gerard in Ikoyi here, you will see vehicles jet oil, and they will tell you 7-year warranty. Most of them are EV vehicles. BYD in China has overtaken Tesla. And that's where the world is going to. And Nigeria has the best quality, one of the best quality of that resources in the world. Now, we are positioned also to take advantage, the capital, to take advantage of this growth, to advise them, structuring deals within that space, and to ensure that we create shared value and prosperity for all of you. Now, the issue that is happening in the international and the global level, earlier this year when we are releasing our forecast for this year, we looked at what's going on in the US, in China, in Japan, in Euro area, in all over the major countries around the world, in UK, and we said the interest rate was going to go down this year. 28th February came, the attack started, and then oil price went up. Now, that led to a major shock. But Nigeria, in a way, benefited from that because we are all exporting country. Not only do we benefit from that, we became a net exporter to solve the issues in Europe. Nigeria now exports refined petroleum products, aviation fuel to Europe. And then so Nigeria now exports aviation fuel to Europe. Dangote exports also fertilizer to other parts of the world. We are bringing in huge amounts of dollars into the country through trade. Other international investors are looking at what we are doing in this place, the reform that have been implemented, and they are saying this is where the next growth will come from. Capital are flowing to Nigeria. Nigerians in the diaspora are also looking at the transformation that are taking place in Nigeria, and they are bringing money. And I'm glad to announce that United Capital PLC is also at the front of driving diaspora remittances into Nigeria today. And we engage Nigerians all over the world through webinars, explaining to them the reform agenda. You don't have to like the person that is there, but you like the work of his hand. Last year, he announced, we are now going to be building roads, the type you have in developed country, in Texas, all over, with concretes. I don't want to import bitumen to construct road. I want to use locally manufactured raw materials. And we told our clients it is time to go long in cement stocks. People who did that, what did they do? They have reaped over 100% in some of the stocks they've bought in. I mean, yes, this week, HBM Nigerian PLC, that's formerly Lafarge WAPCO, declared about 69 interim dividend. That's the highest in the history because of the reform that are taking place in that area. They're going to reconstruct Lagos Ibadan Express Road using concrete again, demand, constructing Lagos to Calabar, Calabar to Maduguri, Maduguri to Sokoto, Sokoto back to Badagry. So open up the economy. New sectors are going to open up. When that is going on, real estates, construction works are going to demand for cement. So all these transformations are changing the face of Nigeria. Federal government is removing the licenses, revoking licenses of indigenous operators, marginal field operators who did not produce oil. And what are they doing? They are selling to new operators who are serious, and then oil production is increasing. Now, so those are the things that investors, global players are looking at that are going on in Nigeria. We are also playing in those areas, advising them, we're advising large corporate, seeing opportunities. How can you expand your industry? At the last MPC meeting, the Central Bank governor said something very, very profound. Said it will be, was it the last one? Or maybe I can't remember now. He said it will not be good if you entrepreneurs here, foreign investors are coming in. One of the largest cement producers in Nigeria has just been acquired by a Chinese company. And I see that as a form of backward integration. Those people are one of the largest contractors that build roads in Nigeria, but they've just gone into cement manufacturing through that acquisition, almost 80% in that. And they are going to flow in huge amount of money to expand the operation. They are cash rich. Either going to deploy debt or deploy equity to expand. I see them very shortly expanding like Dangote cements across Africa through Nigerian operation because we have rich limestone in this place. So the Central Bank governor said it will not be good if you entrepreneurs in Nigeria are missing out of the opportunities that the current reforms are creating. We've structured our businesses, just like our group CEO mentioned, around whether the equities market is doing well, we have product for you there. If stock is not doing well, we have opportunities for you there to make money. Second half of the year will be dominated by maybe different narratives as the issues in Middle East begins to settle off. We'll expect that oil price may likely go down a little bit. And as oil price begin to go down, what will happen is that the energy shock that we had that drove inflation in the first half of the year will moderate. As that moderation is taking place, the European Central Bank, US Fed Reserve, the Central Bank of US, Bank of England, there may not be any need for them to go and hike rates. And that has implication for the business that we run. And that has implication also for you. So what we do is we look at all these expectations and we structure ourselves within the context of how do we make money for you. As interest rate is going down, corporates can expand production, borrowing lower. If you want to borrow lower, we have our investment banking who can structure short-term funding for you in terms of CP. And Nigerian regulator has been very innovative in that space. If you read corporate finance textbook, they will tell you that treasury bill is usually the longest tenor is 270 days. But now in Nigeria, we have 364 days through the innovation of the regulator. So you may want to borrow short-term for working capital requirements. If interest rate goes down, then you have advantage to do that. And if interest rate goes down, equities market may likely increase. Our forecast for second half of the year in terms of the equities market by 11.60. Remember that market came down in June. And I remember that our MD in charge of consumer finance, who lends money to clients to amplify their returns, says, oh guys, come and borrow money. Market will not be like this. Come and borrow money. And people said, oh, some of us were afraid. And this morning I told him jokingly, I said, oh, Adekunle, if I had borrowed money from you about 1 month ago, maybe I would say I want to retire by now. But maybe Mr. Peter Shade was praying that I will not retire so early. So that is going to happen. And which are the sectors are going to drive this growth? Strong opportunities in the banking sector, strong opportunities in building materials, strong opportunities in consumer lending, consumer goods. We also have a lot of opportunities in oil and gas. Aradel just declared, they will declare their half year very shortly, they declare a full year results, and they are doing well. So these are companies that you can invest in to drive value. Today, this year, federal government started a new tax law that gives Nigerian opportunities to have, to exempt taxation from payment investment in corporate bonds, government bonds and then state government bonds. Provide opportunities for you. If you look at the current yield in that area also, and looking at the fact that there are expectations that exchange rate may likely appreciate in second half of the year, what do you say? It then means that if you compare with what you have in Europe, in the US, in Japan, in China, our yield here are very attractive, both in absolute terms and in dollar adjusted terms. When we released our full year this year, we said external reserve will be about $50.01 billion to end the year. It has crossed $50 billion. And that provides a buffer for exchange rate stability, which means that investors can then, with a certain level of predictability, take position. About a few weeks ago, they ranked Nigeria as the best performing stock market in the entire wide world on dollar terms. So people are taking position. What are you doing? And Mr. Peter Shade, our group CEO, when he was saying go and buy UCAP shares, I was saying maybe you want to take over my job. Because it's now, but he knows this business very well, and he's saying, go and do this. So these are institutional investors are coming to Nigeria. Things seems to be looking up. I don't discuss what I don't have control over. I don't join them discussing problems. I look for opportunities within the problems, and I take position. That is what I think each and every one of us should do. You don't have to be able to invest directly in equities market. You can invest through registered professional fund managers like United Capital PLC, who manages an asset management who manages equity funds. As low as 10,000 naira, you can start, and then you begin to enjoy the benefits of people who have billions of naira given to them to enjoy. the MD, people like us, we wake up every day, we look at around the world, what is the best things to do in investment today? You don't have to worry yourself about that. Let us worry ourselves about that. Continue with your job. Just set up monthly transaction on your account that certain amount of money from your salary should be paid to this account every month, and let them do the miracle for you. So these are where we think the market is going to. Interest rates may drop a little bit in second half of the year, creating huge opportunities for you depending on where you are standing. Exchange rates may likely remain stable or appreciate further. Our outlook is saying 1360 to end the year. So 1360 to end the year exchange rate to dollar means that year on year we're going to have appreciation of the naira against the dollar. And in the short time, we believe there will be stability. If a sector that used to account for contribute about 25 to 30% of foreign exchange utilization, petroleum, refined petroleum products, we have local capacities to produce that. That has been removed. What do you think will happen? Law of demand and supply, lower demand for foreign exchange, and the fact that the whole world is saying the policies that the Federal Central Bank is implementing is friendly, dollars are flowing in. So increasing dollar and lower demand for dollar, my knowledge of economics says the price will go up. Now we have figures to do that. Central Bank governor is targeting $1 billion remittances monthly. That is huge. And Nigerians in diaspora, by our engagements with them, are very optimistic about this country. So don't allow all these opportunities to just go by. Strategically position, just like our group CEO says, be intentional about it. Oh, I also buy fuel for 1,300. But are there opportunities for me to make money in this market? The answer is yes. I have a gentleman in this hall where we were working in 2004. We made up our mind that and I think I shared this with my colleague in UCAP. We made up our mind that every month we are going to play in the stock market, and the money we'll be making there will be more than enough to cover our transport fare. And consistently for a long time, we're doing it. Today, there are more products in the markets than in 2004 that we can create wealth as low as 10,000 naira. So that's my brief about the outlook of the economy. I hope I've been able to discuss complex economics issues in a simple manner that is not boring. Thank you very, very much. We'll take questions, and thank you for joining us, people who are joining us online virtually. At the right time, we are going to take questions, but if you have questions as we move on, you can just quickly drop it there, and then we'll be glad to attend to it at the right time. So at this time, I'd like you to please, I would like to welcome, introduce him earlier, Global CFO. His portfolio is so big that he manages consolidated account of 12 countries in different countries and different languages. I mean, the Wemo region, they speak French at times. He has to have interpreter to, or perhaps he go and ask for the spirit of speaking in tongues or interpreter of tongues to him to get some of those numbers. So I'd like to please welcome Global Group CFO, Shadrach, who will come to show you some of the numbers that we are going to present to you today. Some of them, I mean, it's been released to the stock exchange. You see the number. However, what we want to do is also to create a platform, not beyond this hall this morning. You have access to him. You have access to me also, that you can engage us after now on any questions that you need on this company. So please join me to welcome our Group CFO, Shadrach, who will talk to us about what has happened this year. Maybe you will tell me also what I, as a shareholder of United Capital, should expect. You know, you are working for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You know, let me just start by saying this. I used to chair the investor relations committee, and when we started this journey into Africa, I was asking myself, will I be able to cope with all this prayer? And then the group CEO then came up to say, you know what, we need a chief economist. And when he came on board, I was in a hurry to hand over to him because I felt, yes, this is a great relief. And I think that the group CEO call to bring him on board has not been a mistake. In fact, it has been another value addition to the entire group. And you can see it, you know, in the whole event here today. So once again, I want to thank you for joining us today. We appreciate the opportunity, you know, to engage with our shareholders, with our analysts, and prospective investors. Now, there is a different class of stakeholders here too, our clients. We are glad to have you here today. Now, this morning, I'm expected to discuss the historical performance, you know, of United Capital PLC. But permit me to say that I would be focusing less on the numbers and more on some of the things that really drive these numbers. So we'll be looking at the key drivers, you know, behind our result. We'll also be discussing the capabilities that differentiate us as a group. And the group CEO has talked a lot, you know, about some of the things that we're doing. Now, we are also going to be discussing how we are positioning the businesses within the group, you know, for sustainable growth. This is very, very important, you know, for us. Now, as we look at the slides, I would focus less on the slide, but I'll just talk because I have just 15 minutes to do this. Now, the slides that we're looking at tells a story. Now, the story is beyond just revenue growth. It's beyond profitability. Now, the numbers, they tell us, you know, about how, as a group, we are building a resilient and thriving institution of great repute. The numbers you're going to be looking at talks about sustainable value creation and delivery across multiple markets. It also tells the story of innovation, tells the story of how we are building, you know, a lasting legacy. Now, if you look at the numbers that we have on the screen, looking at our gross earnings, 37.49 billion in terms of gross earnings, representing 58% year-on-year growth. This is impressive, and it speaks a lot to what we have been doing, you know, as a group. Now, you know, each time we look at this number and we discuss, you know, we have, before these numbers are released, we have sessions, you know, with executive management. The question we ask ourselves, two questions. The first question is, are we doing well? And usually the response we get is a resounding yes, we're doing well. And then the second question is, are we satisfied, with the kind of growth that we have recorded? And then you get the opposite response, no. And when you have somebody like Peter Ashade driving, the boat, that kind of question is usually, the answer is usually a no. No, this is not where we want to be. And so, this speaks to a whole lot. We want to do greater things, We want to deliver superior value. Now, when you look at those numbers, 58% growth. Same period, 2025, we did 57% growth. So I'm just giving you insight into some of the conversation, that goes on whenever we are presenting these numbers to executive management. We did 57% growth in 2025. Now we're doing 58% growth. So it's beyond growth, right? 57 last year, 58, 1% growth. Yeah, it shows that we are making progress. But this is not the kind of progress we want to see. And that is where the drive and the energy, comes to play, whenever we have this conversation. Now, this number, again, demonstrates two things. It demonstrates the success of our strategy, to deliver superior growth. Now, when Peter was speaking, he talked about 3 core values, He talked about execution, he talked about excellence, he talked about, enterprising. What this 58% growth speaks to execution. How well we have been able to execute our growth plan in H1 2026. Now, if you go to operating PBT, please, you can move to the next slide so that I can utilize my 15 minutes judiciously. If you look at the PBT, we were able to grow profit before tax by 80%. Now, this is on the back of 58% growth in revenue. And that speaks to a lot of things. It speaks to efficiency, right? It speaks to resilience. Because it is not about just growing the revenue. How are we growing this revenue? You can grow revenue by 100% and your PBT is just growing by 10%. So we are focused on how we're growing these numbers, how we are delivering these values. Now, the other thing that this growth, 80% growth in PBT speaks to, the fact that our investment, in our digital assets and digital capabilities, how all of this, is playing out and how well we are yielding results from this investment. When you were watching the clip, Esther talked about, we want to be digital first. And we are investing a lot in that space. And when you see this kind of result, it speaks to the fact that these investments are beginning to yield significant, results. And which is very, very critical, for us. Now, we put some ratios there. If you look at our cost to income ratio, because that's, again, speaks to some of the things we're doing, as a group. Our cost to income ratio, dropped by, you won't call that a drop, actually improved by 6%. This time last year, we were at 50% cost to income ratio. H1 2026, we are doing 44%. That is significant. In fact, what we planned to do was 40%. And that's why I said those two questions. The second question is usually a no. When you say, okay, are we satisfied? We keep saying no. And that means we want to do do a lot more. Please move on to the next slide, because I have few minutes just to discuss this number. Now, again, this speaks to our diversified earnings, and the focus here is to emphasize the point that we are not just growing revenue by, happenstance, like some people will put it, by chance. We are deliberate in the way we drive growth. So if you look at two of our income lines, the fees and commission income, we moved from 11.3 billion to 14.3 billion. Again, that is one of the core of our business. So you talk about our investment banking business, we thrive on fees and commission income. You talk about the asset management business, we're also focused on fees and commission income. Talk about all the businesses within the group, the 7 businesses that Peter talked about earlier. Focus on fees and commission income. So we are focused, we are deliberate in driving this growth across the core of our business. Then look at investment income. We have moved from 9.6 billion to 13.8 billion. Now, this growth is quite significant for us. The other 2 income line, they are the ones that we call the happenstance, when exchange rate moves in our favor, you get what we call the exchange gain, which falls under other income. When the market moves in a particular direction, you get what we call the net trading income. So the point here is that we're driving efficiency, we are creating value, as you can see from the numbers. If you move on to the next slide, where we look at our balance sheet, clearly you can see that, again, I'm going to touch on 2 things here. Number one, is the fact that we have grown our balance sheet. In fact, one of the reasons why I decided, we decided I should, step down from, participating fully in the investor relations committee was so that I can pay more attention to balance sheet management, which is very, very critical for our group. When you are managing a size of over 1.7 trillion in terms of balance sheet size, that's a lot of work. Not just within Nigeria, but across Africa. You want to pay attention to what is happening, to your balance sheet. Not only that, number 2 is that you need to pay attention to risk management. I'm happy that my colleague is here today with us. Ayo said he used to put the brake, and that is true. So if you look at our H1 numbers, he has put a lot of brakes. And even at that, so if you look at our total assets, we dropped from 1.76 trillion as at December to 1.6 trillion. And now some people called me and said, oh, why? Why is your... Yeah. And I explained to them, this is strategic. So where we have invested in certain assets and those assets are not delivering the kind of values that we expect, of course, you want to exit. Some of these assets were funded by borrowings, right? And those borrowings, high cost borrowings. And we felt, no, these assets are no longer delivering the kind of value we want. In fact, they are becoming high risk assets. And so from a risk management point of view, we felt we needed to do something about this. Exit the liabilities and exit the assets. And today, if you look at the ratios again, you will see that, our return on assets has improved significantly, even at that. Move on to the next slide. Again, we're looking at, the strength of our balance sheet. Now, between 2025, 2026, we've made some strategic moves. And one of the moves we have made is to stay strong at the liquid side, of the balance sheet. So we're a lot more liquid. So if you look at the cash and cash equivalent, as at 2025 December, we're 16%. Today, we have moved it to 24% because we want to be liquid and fluid enough to take advantage, of the opportunities we see in the market. And this is very, very instructive. And the beauty of our balance sheet is that over 95% of this balance sheet are income earning. And that puts us in a very, very strong position as a group. Next slide. Now, again, looking at the funding mix. Our managed fund, I said earlier that, borrowed funds, if you look at our borrowed funds as at today, is just 13%. As at December, we're 23%. And this speaks to the point I made earlier. We have decided deliberately to reduce our borrowing so that we'll focus on, growing the managed funds, because that is where we see the opportunities. And that is what really drives the kind of numbers that we are delivering, today. So from 62% in managed funds, we've been able to grow our managed funds to about 71% of our total, funding size. This is very instructive, and we will continue to ensure that we keep our eyes on these numbers. Next slide, please. Now, this speaks to our profitability and efficiency. I've talked about this. Again, look at our return on assets. We have moved from 1.37% to 2.48%. And for us, that is significant. These are the kind of numbers we want to be driving, as we go into H2. Our earnings per share has improved significantly from 1 naira 32 kobo to 2 naira 34 kobo. And just this week, we announced a 30 kobo dividend per share. And I got some calls, some people asked, why are you paying 30 kobo similar to what you paid last year in interim dividend? And I said to them, you know what? We are expanding, we are growing, and we're trying to create value for you. Just look at the trajectory. In 2024, we have moved from 10.6 to 16.2 billion in terms of dividend payout. And so expect more this year. So the fact that we are paid 30 kobo is strategic and deliberate because we want to create more value for our stakeholders towards the end of the year. Now, Peter talked about the fact that, we have grown astronomically over the years. So you can look at a company in 2021, our gross earnings was just around, 18 billion. As at 2025, we delivered 59 billion. That is significant. Our profit after tax went up from 11 billion to 28 billion in 2025. Profit before tax from 12 billion to 41 billion. For us, this is significant. And the way we have positioned the group is such that we will continue to deliver this level of growth. So you see, over the years, we have been growing, astronomically. Next slide, please. Again, looking at the sustainable growth in terms of our balance sheet, you look at investment securities, we have been able to move from just 364 billion in 2021 to 1.3 trillion as we speak. Managed funds has grown astronomically. 2021, we were doing around 327 billion. Today, we are doing over 994 billion in managed funds. Our total assets, again, Peter talked about the fact that we have crossed the 1 trillion mark. Our target for this year is to do over 2 trillion in terms of total assets. Our shareholders fund, which is critical, and that is one of the areas I particularly pay attention to. We have moved from 31 billion to over 150 billion in terms of, shareholders fund. And this is significant for us. Next slide. As I round up, it is important to note that we have done a lot, but we have also positioned ourselves to do even much more, in the coming years. Now, it is my hope that our discussion during this session demonstrate not just the strength of our historical performance, but also the quality of our franchise, as a group. Now, the point we're trying to make here is that we remain disciplined in executing our strategy. The balance sheet you have seen is very, very resilient, and we will continue to push that. Our focus remains firmly on delivering sustainable long-term value for all our stakeholders. So when we talk about stakeholders, we're not just talking about shareholders, investors, and all of that. We're talking about the clients that we service. For us, that is critical. Again, we recognize, the operating environment, and we understand that the environment will continue to evolve. However, we remain confident in our ability to navigate these changes. We remain confident in our ability to continue to capture value, just like Peter talked about. When we decided we're going into Africa, we're not just going into Africa just to, tick the box, we're here, we're in this country. No, we see opportunities in those markets. And we believe and we're confident that we are poised to take advantage of these opportunities. Not only that, we are focused on executing our strategic priorities. Once again, I want to thank you for your continued trust and interest in the United Capital brand. And I want to say that the engagement continues, and we welcome your questions and feedback. Let me welcome back Ayo.
Thank you very much, Global CF. I think he deserves more than that. Or maybe you are saying because he did 30 kobo interim dividend. I also challenged him because I'm one of the shareholders, until now reminded me about advanced corporate finance course that I did a long time ago. And he reminded me of dividend theory, which is residual dividend theory, which says that a company will have to finance all the profitable investments available, then the residual it will now pay to shareholders. And that's what he just said, that Ayo, don't worry, let's finance all these opportunities that we have seen from the internally generated cash flows rather than going to borrow money that will dilute the earnings. So when we finance all this expansion from internally generated cash flow, we have the opportunity to grow the bottom line, and in future, maybe we double the profitability. When he said that, I now calm down completely. The next 2 years, if you don't double it, you and I will enter the same trousers. Please, let's put our hands together for him one more time. Thank you very much for the excellent work. Very quickly now, we are going to call our business leaders, MDs of businesses, who will come to the stage with me here and tell us a little bit about their business. This segment of the program is very important, that you can listen to them. They're not going to talk to you about figures, but they're going to talk to you more about the future of their businesses. United Capital PLC that we have today is a conglomeration of the various businesses that we have here, apart from the associate companies that we have. So very quickly, in no particular order, I'd like to quickly call the MDs of our investment banking, Dr. Gbadebo Aderele, to be quickly followed by the MD of our asset management company, Dr. Odiri Ogene. I'd like to quickly call the MD of our wealth management. So you can sit anywhere, but don't sit at the middle because that's for the group CEO. Otherwise, we'll make you group CEO today, and then you will feel the fire he is facing. Madam, that's sad. You want to test me, Abby? Is that the middle? Sorry. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so I would like to quickly call the MD of our microfinance bank, Exeter. I'd like to call the MD of our consumer finance, Adekunle. I'd like to call the MD of our stockbroking, ably represented by Abidin. Please come forward quickly. And the MD of our trust business, ably represented by George. Please come forward quickly. And allow the group CF, the global group CFO to please come forward quickly. Who arranged this place to the man that did not pay me more than 30 kobo? Why did he not come today? Babs, why did he not come? Okay, let's quickly have our group CEO, Mr. Peter Ashade, to come forward quickly. I will start from Dr. Gbadebo. Just briefly, what should we expect from your business? So just 2-3 minutes.
Okay, thank you very much, Ayo, and well done on this investor roundtable, investor relations roundtable. I think from the investment banking side, let me just speak briefly to what we do. We provide advisory and capital raising services. Our clients are governments.
Apologies, please. I'm sorry for this. So they have presentation, so they are free to adopt any format. So you can come here. But if I come, I can take your seat. So you can go through your presentation and you can also talk through it.
Thank you. So I wanted to just merge it, right? And just taking it all over again. What we do, we provide advisory services and capital raising services. That summarizes what we do in investment banking. What are our clients? Our clients are governments, and governments from the federal side, state governments, municipals, and corporates. Corporates span large corporates, mid-sized corporates. Those are the two major buckets of our clients. And how do we provide this advisory and capital raising services to them? We have 5 different business lines, and these business lines are led by very senior executives. 1 or 2 of them are also in the crowd here. We'll start from our debt capital market. Perhaps that's one of the most popular sides, just because a lot of instruments from that line of business are issued in the market very regularly. So here we have our sukuks, bonds, commercial papers, all debt instruments. You have a number of thematic debt instruments, from green bonds, social bonds, sustainability bonds, and all of that making the rounds. This is done by the debt capital market. We also have our mid-market business. In this mid-market business, we cater to mid-sized corporates. A lot of these mid-sized corporates are also very big. They're doing a lot of big things and they're growing very fast. But we support their working capital needs, essentially providing working capital solutions, and we also support them in issuing commercial papers. I think the chief economist spoke to commercial papers earlier during this remark as well. We'll go to the equity capital market side. That's also a part of the market that a lot of people are familiar with, especially with a lot of things going on in the market now. And in this market, you have listings and initial public offers, especially for new entrants into the equity capital market. You also have private placements as well, especially for those issuers who want to take some private placement before they come to the market, or even some existing public companies that still want to raise monies through the private placement routes. You also have the seasoned IPOs, rights issues. We were very active in the bank recapitalization that took place over the last 24 months, and a lot of these banks came to the market through this equity capital market routes. You also have, essentially, you could do share capital reconstruction. You also do share buyback. We also have an advisory team. Our advisory team caters to a number of services from valuation advisory, mergers and acquisitions, divestments, privatizations, restructurings. Restructurings can be very broad. Corporate restructurings, debt restructurings, that's the advisory team there, and a whole lot under there. But these are the popular services, or the most common services. You have a project finance team as well. This project finance team helps large sponsors to raise funding for infrastructure projects. So from project advisory to structuring and capital raising, then you also have facility agency. How do we do all of this? We have teams that sit across all of this, from VPs, associates, analysts, and they all work collaboratively within the investment banking team, also within the wider group. As the group CEO spoke earlier, we have our Africa region, we also have a Nigeria region. All those colleagues across this, the directorates across the group also support us in the work we do. And I could just move quickly to the next slide to just speak to some of the work we've done. So this speaks to debt capital markets. Our debt capital markets, I'll just remind the House very quickly. Recently, we led on the federal government US dollar bond, wildly successful transaction. This took place in 2024. We'd like to talk about this because, we went out to raise $500 million in the market. We raised $917 million in the market. This was a wildly successful transaction, not just because it was oversubscribed, but also because it took a lot of audacious moves by the advisors, and a very big component were lead on this to ensure that this was successful. Also very important for Nigeria, because before this transaction, Nigeria had not accessed the Eurobond market for a while, right? This was essentially a domestic Eurobond, done at sub-10, single digits, sent a message to the international market. Since this transaction, Nigeria has tapped the Eurobond market successfully twice, right? You can give us a round of applause for this. Yeah. And we just talked about this was 2024, more recently and right now, earlier this year, we were working with NBET, Nigeria Bulk Electricity Trading Company, 501 billion naira bond raise. That was very successful. A second one is actually opening by next Monday. And to some of the investors that are here, I know some of my colleagues are already engaging with you, and we're engaging with you. We're expecting that you work with us on this. We have some other clients that we work with, the Dangote Group, for example, Dangote Cement, and also CIG Motors, one of the more recent automobile companies, and we have a couple of automobile companies in our radar as well, who we have also brought to the market on this debt capital market play. So debt capital market works with governments and large corporates, and the objective is to support them in raising capital. Quickly, next slide, we'll just go to mid-market. Our mid-market play is also very instructive. Over the years, I think we've also shaped a lot of the way debt advisory is done in the market as well. These are corporates that we see them, we'll call them mid-market. They are actually very large now. We started working with a number of them like 5-6 years ago. Some of them, we actually introduced them to the market. Some of them, we actually funded within the group before we started bringing them to the market. We validated these corporates, and some of them now, they don't only access the Nigerian capital markets, they're also invested by international financial institutions, international investment platforms. John Vance being one of our big clients, we have been lead arranger for all their capital raise over the years. Same with Capital Sage and Nivea as well. And recently, John Vance also went into the non-interest capital raise, and we're also a very active part in this. Quickly, we'll go to the next slide. That speaks to equity capital market. I spoke earlier to say that during the banking recapitalization, we were very, very active We supported a number of banks. We've showed UBA here, we've shown Stanbic, but we also supported First Bank, we also supported FCMB, and we were very active in this capital raising that took place in this period. Also, we were lead issuing house on Industrial and Medical Gases Nigeria Limited. You may know them by their older name, BOC Gases. We're lead issuing house on their rights issue that was there. Also, there's the infrastructure fund by Cardinal Stone that we're also lead issuing house on. But we actually lead a lot of funds. So the United Capital Infrastructure Fund as well is one of them. We have a DFI that we are working on a fund with. We've been working with them. All the funds that come in from the stables of United Capital, we also advise on. We just also got two mandates also on some other funds. A lot of funds in the market. We are actually perhaps the preeminent advisor for funds in the market. We just use this as one of the examples to speak to. Next slide quickly. So this speaks to advisory stables, divestment of Transcorp Hotel Calabar, an MTO that happened in the market recently. We were also the lead advisor, financial advisor on this. This was done by HH Capital in Transcorp Group. Also, the share capital restructuring by the Transcorp Group. We were our lead advisor on this. We did a very interesting transaction that didn't make a lot of publicity for strategic reasons by the clients. That was the Amo Farms Group. It was the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation invested in that company in 2024. We are sole financial advisor on that. Very strategic transaction for that group. And those are the kind of things, not all the transactions we do can be publicized immediately, they are done. But again, I think time has passed and we're able to show this. On our project finance tables, we've done a lot of work, especially in oil and gas. So quickly speaking to Endeavor Mining. Endeavor Mining is one of the largest mining companies in the world. We supported in the financing of the gold mine in Cote d'Ivoire on this. We also have Erebina Energy, oil and gas, financial advisor on the $30 million raise in there. Airs Energies, as you all know, in 2021, the acquisition of OML 17, very large transaction, $1.1 billion. We were financial advisors on that. More importantly, one of our key transactions we've been on since 2015 till date, government of Congo, Congo-Brazzaville. We were financial advisors and lead arranger on a $250 million pre-export financing transaction. We raised that financing then. We are still facility agents on that transaction, and we still do a number of... So our clients, remember I mentioned our clients are federal governments. So Nigeria is one of them. Government of Congo is one of them, a number of other governments. So note, we are in 12 African countries. Each one of those governments is a potential candidate for us, and the municipals and sub-nationals under them. I think that summarizes what we do. I think I must have passed my 10 minutes. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Dr. Badebo. So we're going to quickly call Dr. Odiri, the MD of our asset management company, one of the biggest in Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much. This phone has refused to steal. Okay, I'm used to... It's not what I'm used to. All right, good morning, everyone. Apologies for that. So I'll be speaking to the asset management business, what we do, the clients that we service and engage, our strategic priorities, and basically how we see the future. I'm actually excited about the future of the asset management industry in Nigeria because I think we are still just scratching the surface. You know, there's a lot of focus around retail engagement, you know, building institutional mandates. I was discussing with somebody recently and I said, for over 200 million people that we have in Nigeria, how many mutual funds do we have in this country? You know, United Capital Asset Management, we have about 11 funds. The highest in the market today has about 14 funds. BlackRock as a whole has more than 1,000 funds. How do we get to that stage when one asset manager has over 1,000 funds? You know, and so that's what we at United Capital, that's what we are seeing, and that's the future that we see for the market today. United Capital Asset Management, we are structured around 3 major dimensions. Number one, we create and manage mutual funds. We have 11 mutual funds focused around the equity market, fixed income, money market. Our goal really when we create those funds is really how do we connect investors to the capital markets. A lot of people think today that I need a lot of money before I can invest. I think that myth, we should have debunked that by now. But I see that, it's still a lot of time you talked, I don't have so much money, I just earn a little amount of money. So that's really the revolution around mutual funds. Mutual funds is basically a collective investment scheme where you pull investors together and you invest in a particular instrument. So that instrument could be the equities, it could be fixed income, it could be money market, it could be infrastructure assets, it could even be digital asset, crypto. So basically with as little as 1,000 naira, 10,000 naira, or even as much as you have, you can, begin investing in the mutual funds. And today we have the equity bias funds, which basically helps investors to begin to look at the equities market, in a different light. A lot of the time when we talk about equities, a lot of people, what they think is loss, risk. I will lose my money. I've lost my money before, or it's too risky. So what a mutual funds basically does is to help you create a disciplined portfolio management structure. You don't have to be thinking, which stock will I buy today? Or should I sell UCAP that I bought, 2 years ago? No, it's basically the work of the fund manager. And the fund manager, their job is to sit down and monitor the market and ensure that we make the right decision for you. And so from that perspective, we always think about, so what are people looking at when it comes to their financial outcome? We created funds around asset classes, equities, fixed income, money market. We also created funds around what you want to achieve in the future for yourself. Last year, we launched the Children Investment Fund. And the goal really is, how do parents begin to save towards the financial needs of their children in a disciplined manner? So a lot of people say, if I want to save for my children, I just put in a money market fund or I just buy treasury bill for them. No. At the end of the day, you're thinking short term for a long-term investment objective. And so the Children Investment Fund was born to say, you can start saving 1 million, 500,000, 5 million on a monthly basis or as frequently as you want towards one major goal. That in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, in 15 years' time, I can hand over this fund in the name of the child, or probably in a proxy, or you could be this is what your parents have, set aside for you. And so that's the idea behind the Children Investment Fund. We also set up the Wealth for Women Fund. And the goal really for the Wealth for Women Fund is, a lot of time people say, women don't invest. Women actually invest. But the way they invest in a way that helps them not take advantage of opportunities in the capital market. And so the Wealth for Women Fund was set up to say, in a disciplined manner as a woman, or as a girl child, or as a husband who wants to gift their wife something, or as a brother who is thinking of their sister, how much can I begin to put in a disciplined manner, that I can save towards a certain goal? And the major goal we're looking at for women is retirement. A lot of the time, recently I lost my mom, and imagine if she had something that, she had set aside over a long period of time. When she retired after 35 years teaching, every time, Odiri, what are you, I want to do this. I will send money to her. This child, but imagine if she had something set aside for retirement. So the children are no longer the retirement, or your husband is no longer the retirement. So that was the idea behind it, the Wealth for Women Fund, to say for us as women, one of the biggest long-term objectives for us is retirement, and many of us are not prepared for it. But in a disciplined manner through the mutual funds, we can begin to prepare for that long-term investment opportunities. And we've seen a lot of women engage with the fund. It's also a way to teach them about the capital market and the fact that you don't need to be afraid of risk. So in terms of products, that's the way we look at when we create mutual funds. And I can tell you, a lot of the way new funds are going to be coming out from the stable of United Capital, it's not just going to be the plain vanilla asset client focus type. No, we also have an infrastructure fund. And the goal really is, how do we contribute to infrastructure development in Nigeria and raise money from investors? Today, money market rates are down today. Tomorrow they are up. Treasury bill is up today. Fixed income. But for infrastructure assets where you are creating long-term opportunities, you can see that those rates are stable. And so those returns can be attractive for you for a long period of time. And so I was talking about, other opportunities that we are looking at for product development. We're looking at the retirement focused funds, for the general market. Yes, you have a pension fund, but how do you begin to prepare for yourself, towards retirement? We're looking at digital assets. The SEC new rule allows opportunity for creation in digital assets. So those are opportunities that we are looking at when it comes to product development. In terms of our strategic priorities, today, under the asset management business, we manage almost 1.4 trillion in assets under management, and we'll continue to grow across the product that we create, for the mutual funds, for the managed funds also, where people say, okay, Odiri, I don't want mutual funds. Can you create something bespoke for me? Something that is aligned to my own, personal realities, needs, preferences. We can do that for you under our managed funds. You can say, okay, I want to invest in assets within Nigeria or other variable assets I see, even outside the country, specific to your own preferences. We can also create that for you under our managed funds. So AUM growth is a critical part of the way we are looking at. Is one of our major priorities. Our target really this year is to ensure that as the asset management business, we are able to hit 2 trillion. And I think it's possible for us to do that with the support of every one of you. Also, investing in technology, distribution. Mutual fund is actually a distribution business. Because if you have 10 funds, 20 funds, how are you going to be pushing it? It's not just each person going one-on-one. You need technology. And so that's why we are investing significantly in our platforms, our Invest Now platform, our digital platform, with the goal of ensuring that our funds get to the last mile. Imagine every home you get to and they say, oh, I invest in mutual funds. Oh, I invest in, equity funds. Oh, I invest in money market fund. That's basically the goal that we are looking at. I've talked about alternative investment, which is also another dimension that we are looking at, particularly around product development. And you begin to see a lot of that, coming up. Today, the world is looking at private credit. Why can't we create more of those for the markets that we are in? Market leadership is also important to us. When you talk about United Capital Asset Management, at least in the industry, people will say, okay, yes, they are one of the leaders and will continue to lead the market. I've talked extensively on product innovation, operational efficiency and effectiveness. The truth is, today we have over 100,000 clients. How do you manage those clients? It's not a manual process. You need a very strong back engine to be able to deploy that. And so we invest heavily in the engine that supports our growth. Some of our achievements, have also spoken to it, but I'll just highlight them. Recognition for leading innovation within the asset management business, particularly around the product development initiative. We're also very intentional about investor education. A lot of the time people soak information about where I should invest, what I should invest in from social media. When they get burned, who do you blame? So as an institution, it is our responsibility to ensure that we educate the market, not just with the products that we bring out, but also let them be aware of the importance of investing and also saving. About 3 years ago, we set up the United Capital Investment Forum, and it's basically to bring industry players, investors into a room, and we discuss the future of the asset management industry, the future of investment. And this year will be our third investment forum, and so we'll be inviting you when we fix a date for that. Just to close, really, I believe that there is a lot of opportunities within the industry, and United Capital is better positioned to take advantage of that opportunity. Today, the asset management business contributes about 35 to 40% of the profitability of the group. And that's a huge responsibility for me, and that's significant for us. And so that's why one of the things that the group will always continue to do is to invest in infrastructure to support this business. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Odiri. I also want to just to also let you know that I see a segment of Nigerian investing public that they invest in Ponzi scheme. So that's your market target. You go and tell them that's not the way to go. So bring that money into the regulated funds, and that create real value. Thank you very much. So I'd like to call George, who will talk to us briefly. You have just 3 minutes. I'm announcing now, if you spend more than 3 minutes, I will call to collect the mic from you. I manage the stage this afternoon. Thank you very much.
Good morning, all. I'll be speaking for the trustees' business. And first of all, I'd like to talk about our business very briefly, and of course, speak to some of the key highlights that we've had over the last period. And then we'll talk about our future focus strategies. So I will do all of this in a simple 3 minutes. So United Capital Trustees is a Pan-African giant in executing complex capital market transactions and, of course, structured finances across multiple jurisdictions. Our expertise and track record cuts across major Eurobond issuances, syndicated loans, and securitization, the green bonds and sukuk bonds, the Islamic finance, and my slide is not on. Okay, I'll just speak through it. Yeah, the Islamic finance and the Modaraba facilities. Then we also do cross-border project financing and, of course, escrow agencies. So looking at all of these within the different segments of our trust business, which cut across the public trust, the corporate trust, private trust, and estate planning. So basically, I will just talk about some key achievements that we've had in the recent past. In terms of, we have over 9 trillion in trust mandates across the different trust segments as a business. I just want that to sink in a little bit. And then we have some decent growth in our AUM. We also designed a novel Islamic trust product, which we call the Amana Trust. And this basically will cater to the fast rising and critical Islamic finance sector. And basically, in the country, we are trustees to over 47 collective investment schemes. So if you have about slightly below 200 collective schemes in the country, 47 will give you roughly around above 30% and 40, establishing our dominance in this space. So for the future, we're actually we're excited about our African footprint, where we'll be creating a lot of opportunities to deepen our presence. And this will be driven by technology, a solid team, and of course, fast execution. And this probably will bring us to the kind of result that we're very excited about. We'll take opportunities, we'll cover spaces. We're very excited about this, and I hope you're also excited. So I'll just stop here and allow the other businesses to make their presentations while I sit back for questions.
Thank you very much, George, for that beautiful presentation. I'd like to call on the security. Abidin, please. 3 minutes, please. Please follow. What do we not know about stock market? Is it not buying and selling of stocks? I can even help you to summarize.
Don't worry, I'll try.
God bless you as you do 3 minutes.
Once again, good morning, everyone. And let me thank you once again for being here. We don't take this for granted. I'll be presenting on behalf of the MD CEO of United Capital Securities. Like he rightly said, my name is Abidin Alade. I'm the head trader for United Capital Securities. I'll try to be brief. As you have pleaded, I spent 3 minutes, even though I don't think that that is visible, but I'll try to be very, very brief. For us at United Capital, what we do is quite simple. Like I just said, we are intermediaries. We facilitate financial transactions on the floor of the capital, on the floor of the exchange. We play both on the primary side and the secondary market side of the market. We service institutional clients and retail clients. We trade in equities and fixed income instruments, both in the primary market space and the secondary market space. We are licensed market maker on the floor of the exchange, even though this hasn't been fully fledged, but we are proud to tell you that we are one of the market makers in the market. We do portfolio management as well for our clients, just to make sure that if you want to come into the market and you're bothered about not having the time to do all the analysis or to do, manage your portfolio yourself, we are here to take that straight from you. We do both discretionary and not discretionary. I'll move on to our strategic priorities for this year. I think at the beginning of the year at United Capital Securities, we identified some pillars that we feel should anchor our performance for this year. And I'll be shedding more light on, I think, 3 of them. These 3, for me, are very, very interconnected. The first among them is sustainable growth and capital market development. The second is on improving our market share, while the third one is on digital transformation. You agree with me that these 3 are very, very, very interconnected. The Nigerian capital market has done very well in terms of return in the last few years. The market has returned, exceptionally well among its peers, both in Africa and over the world. But if you look deep down into market participation, we cannot say the same for this. As we speak today, the unique CSS account number that we have in the market is still currently under 10 million. For a country of over 200 million citizens, that is barely 5% market penetration. At United Capital, we see this and we take it seriously, and it's one of our strategic initiatives to drive more participation in the market so that we don't only compete with the existing volumes in the market, but also drive more financial literacy and financial inclusion so that we can position ourselves for more share of wallet of the first, and dominate, the first entrance, into the markets to really improve our figures going forward. And you can't do this without digital transformation. So digital transformation is going to be the engine for us to follow this. I heard the group CEO when he was presenting, he mentioned the fact that we are going to launch some stuff in August. We are going to come to launch stuff in October as well. I would think will really galvanize our numbers. Permit me, sir, to announce to the room that one of those launches will be a new digital platform. Why do we need to do this? We've expanded so much into Africa. We've gone into different regions of the countries. We don't see these expansions as just new business. We see them as new channels of distribution. You agree with me that you can't do this manually? This has to be supported by robust IT infrastructures. And our group CEO rightly mentioned that a lot of investment has gone into this. And we hope that at the time we do these launches and you see this transformation, you agree with us that the future remains very bright for United Capital and our securities business. The next thing for me to mention is with regard to our drive for more market share. Like I said, we've looked at the market, right? I mentioned the fact that we still have less than 10 million unique CSS account ID. And this is what the top 10 are currently, sharing. So the more the merrier. Why not try to bring more people into the market, both in Nigeria and offshore as well, to make sure that what we are sharing is bigger than what it is at the moment. The next item that I'll briefly touch on, our key milestone so far this year. I'm happy to announce to you that recently at the NGS award made for Africa, that our securities business was honored as the best sponsoring license holder for 2025. So which speaks to the fact that while we are aggressively chasing our numbers, we are not also compromising on corporate governance. Another key one that I thought to also mention is the fact that we are appointed as one of the joint stockbrokers to the upcoming Dangote
refinery IPO, which we think is going to be a very, very huge one for our market in terms of transforming the size, and the kind of deal that our market can take. The last bit for me will be just to quickly highlight how we intend to align with the broader group strategic objective. United Capital Security as a group is a very unique organization. Unique in the sense of the way we are structured, really unique in the sense of our reach, not just in Nigeria, but across Africa. At United Capital Security, we see this as a strength, and we see this as an untapped avenue for us, to lock in some future revenue. And how do we intend to do this? The first thing here that we've highlighted to do from H2 going forward is unlocking cross-selling across the group. I mentioned earlier on that we are not seeing our regional businesses or our Pan-African expansion as just businesses. We want them to be a new channel of distribution for our business. So we are accelerating synergy and cross-selling across group subsidiaries to capture untapped revenue. Capital market innovation capital market innovation is also a strong one for us. We are supporting the group in its group-wide inclusion initiative through product design and digital assets. I think the MD of Asset Management mentioned the fact that given the volume or the size of the asset management business we see and the kind of securities business that we envisage that we want to scale to, you can't do this without having a very robust digital platform. As such, we're also strengthening our digital ecosystem. We're investing significantly. I think I can overflow that. We're investing significantly in scalable infrastructure that will support our long-term clients' growth projection. We are expanding our client base and market share, which is very key for us, both on the retail side and the institutional side as well. And when it comes to sustainable revenue delivery, we are building repeatable and high margin revenue gains. And we are doing this not just in the securities business alone, but trying to collaborate with other businesses within the group and outside the group as well to make sure that securities is just not plain vanilla as we've known it to be, that we can add some other little varieties that makes it appealing to all segments of the market. And lastly, on ESG and long-term value creation, we're embedding sustainability and responsible practices in all transactions that we embark on. I know Ayo highlighted the work of our key risk officer here, how he applies breaks where it needs to be applied. And I can assure you that we are taking this very, very seriously to ensure that we comply and continue to deliver value.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
To close, I'd like to thank you for your attention and contribution.
Thank you so much. In fact, some of the areas that you are even, while the next person come on board, the next person should just start coming so that we'll manage our time. Some of the milestones that you did not even highlight, some couple of 5 years ago, our security business were operating like 37 or between 35 and 37 sub-broking firms in terms of performance. In the last 3 years, we are consistently operated top 10. We have improved significantly in terms of performance. This is key because top 10 give visibility. And not only that, in terms of, the AUM, we are even talking about the asset because the nature of this business such that we don't even capture what we have in terms of the client base. Currently, our security business sits on, or that business alone sits on over 2.3 trillion assets for various clients. That again sits on, that's confidence. That's confidence. So if you can, and we are still counting in terms of that. In terms of profitability, we can't just go there. It's been able to play a very key role. These are milestones, and we believe strongly that the stage of play is just been set, and we hope to, make a lot of impact as we transform the market together. Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Okay, thank you very much. So we have the MD of Wealth Management Division here to take us through just 3 minutes. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Hayo. Hayo said I shouldn't use more than 3 minutes. That's well noted. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for creating time out of your busy schedules to be with us today. We do not take it for granted. We're truly very, very appreciative of this. I will quickly take us through what we do in wealth management. In United Capital Wealth Management, all we see is you. We help our clients and investors to achieve their vision with success. That is actually our mission. Unlike other businesses within the United Capital Group, the likes of trustees, I don't know if he mentioned the fact that our trustees is actually the oldest in the country. That means that they've been in existence for over 60 years, the likes of asset management, investment banking, and so on and so forth. Wealth management is still relatively, I would say, new when compared to these businesses. And when we were starting out, we did not pretend to know it all. And we realized that there's no point reinventing the wheel. In advanced climes, we have wealth management that has been fully developed. And what we did was to enter into strategic partnership with offshore entities of repute, Swiss domiciled entities that have practiced wealth management over the years. And by virtue of that relationship, we've been able to deliver value to our esteemed clients. With wealth management solutions, our clients are exposed to assets that are not traded locally. We expose our clients to assets that are traded globally across various geographies, across various jurisdictions. When Ayo was introducing me earlier, he said that if you have dollars, you should approach me. What he forgot to tell you is the fact that it is not only dollar investment that we manage on behalf of our clients. As a matter of fact, we are poised and positioned to invest on behalf of our clients across various currencies. Talk about pounds, talk about euros, Canadian dollars, Australian dollars, and so on and so forth. So if you have such currencies, please do not hesitate to approach us. Aside from that, when you invest with United Capital Wealth Management, you can go to sleep because your assets are invested in one of the best jurisdictions in the world. One of my colleagues mentioned BlackRock earlier. One of the things that we equally do in terms of value addition is the fact that we expose you to the best of fund managers around the world, the likes of BlackRock, the likes of Vanguard, the likes of Fidelity. I'm sure you would agree with me that ordinarily it might be a difficult task to be able to invest with these various entities that I've mentioned. One thing I can tell you this afternoon is that we have platforms that enables you with sizable investment amount. You can actually invest through this notable fund managers across the world. Aside from this, we hold our clients to invest across various asset classes. When you talk of equities, fixed income securities, mutual funds that are traded globally, indexes, commodities, and so on and so forth. So we have what it takes to actualize this on your behalf while we're here in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, our mantra is local presence, global expertise, because we ride on the strategic partnerships with the entities that I've mentioned to deliver on this promise. What are the services that we provide? We provide offshore investment management service. We also enter into wealth structuring. Irrespective of where your assets are domiciled, we can actually help you to consolidate these assets and ensure that your assets are fully optimized. We're equally very mindful of risk. We have a risk officer, okay, he's seated here, that is always pulling the brake from time to time. So we're very, very mindful of risk. And from time to time, we also advise our clients not only to concentrate on returns, but also to be mindful of risk, depending on your appetite anyway. Aside from this, with this exposure, our clients are exposed, or they're exposed to high-end products and services. We also offer financial planning services. This ranges from investment planning to retirement planning I'm sure you must have heard a lot about retirement planning. Our retirement planning is a bit different. You must have heard our group CEO talk about value addition, and a couple of some of my colleagues also alluded to the fact that we're very big when it comes to value addition. We don't settle for less. In putting together a retirement plan on behalf of our clients, we go beyond the ordinary. As a matter of fact, we would help you to project into the future. We would embed a simulation that would determine whether your resources is sufficient to cater to your needs or your lifestyle at the point of retirement. So these are some of the value additions that we offer. Okay. Sorry.
Thank you very much, MD. Thank you very much. Please see here, she's an expert in financial structuring. You have funds in one currency. You want to do in another currency. She will be able to do it for us. So I'd like to know.
I think in addition to that, I think she does something in family offices. There's an area of expertise too that we play, working together with our partners globally. We offer such services. This is one of our businesses that started in the last 3-4 years, and we are quite very positive about the growth that we see there and how we continue to develop bespoke solutions for our various clients. Thank you.
Okay, so I have the MD of our microfinance bank. Thank you. 3 minutes, agreed.
All right, thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. I'll be sharing some, insights into UC Microfinance Bank, one of the newest subsidiaries of United Capital PLC. So I'd like to give a brief. UC Microfinance Bank was officially launched in 2024, and that would help you appreciate, some of the things that we do. UC Microfinance Bank was launched to drive the financial inclusion strategy of United Capital PLC. And who do we serve? We serve the mass market, retail individuals, salary earners in the private sector, public sector, entrepreneurs, and MSMEs alike, and everybody. We are the only entity in the group that is licensed by the Central Bank of Nigeria. And we are the only entity in the group that does not take dollar and other foreign currencies. But we also have products, basically savings products. We have savings products that, you save and you can earn as high as 20% on your savings. That's how attractive it is. And then we have target savings products. We have loan products for everybody in every segment and in every sector of the economy. The bank has been able to drive business and contributed to the group profitably. I'm saying this because currently the bank has done over 100% of the profitability we did in 2025 at half year, and the bank has been able to manage at about 20,000 customers. We have acquired about 20,000 1,000 customers, which is another customer acquisition strategy for the group. And the bank has also, we are also a digital first microfinance bank. That's the first line. We're a digital first, but our services are, delivered in the hybrid model. So when we say hybrid, we have a physical location, but we use digital services. And what are these? Our mobile app, our USSD, our web app, and we recently launched virtual accounts and our business banking. And the mobile app of the bank has, processed up to about 52 billion transactions as at today. And so this is just to let you know that United Capital has different shades and different subsidiaries, and so the group is not just focused on one segment of the economy. And when the group CEO came up to say, oh, we diversify, and this is one of the diversifications that the group has done, and we are also rendering value. And what's the outlook for us in the remaining parts of the year? We are positioned to be one of the leading microfinance banks in Nigeria. And if I say that with my full chest, because from what we see in the industry and from the position where UC Microfinance Bank sits today, even the Central Bank of Nigeria has agreed that UC Microfinance Bank is one bank that is doing microfinance bank the way it ought to be done, and we are also returning profitability, and we are also managing, the MSMEs in the economy. And one of our flagship products, which is our solar loan, has also helped us to drive the ESG goal in the group. And finally, I want to say that UC Microfinance Bank is here for you. If you know anybody, even you are not on board yet, please come on board, because this is one of the ways that United Capital is driving our financial inclusion strategy. Thank you.
Exceptional. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
This is one of our businesses that was launched in 2024. We started out as a unit microfinance bank with, I think, 200 million. As we speak now, we have filed with CBN. We already have 5.6 billion. We have applied for a national license. Again, this underscores the fact that every space that we operate, we are resolute that we will not be an onlooker. We will be a major game changer. So we believe in this country, and part of what we're trying to do is to ensure, and that we determine, you can see from units of 200 to 5.6 now. Anytime from now, we should have a license to operate across Nigeria. That does not mean that we want to have brick and mortar across. We will still focus on digital first, using digital, but footprint across Nigeria. And we determine to ensure that we are able to funnel down the investors' education and support the people below the pyramid, which is the focus of our product development. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Group CEO. So if Abidin, the stockbroker, tells you there are opportunities to invest in certain stocks, and you have just 1 billion in your portfolio, you feel, and just 1 billion, you feel that you want to take more money to amplify your return. The man that makes that happens is Adekunle, is here. If you are not a Yoruba speaking person, permit me, we call him Baba Olowo, the man that has the cash. So please join your hands together as we welcome Adekunle, the MD of our consumer finance. You have just 3 minutes. God bless you.
Well, thank you very much, our esteemed shareholders. We really appreciate you. I just want to say quickly, like my colleague Abidin, I do not have any award to show. It's just because my award are sitting down in your bank accounts. People that actually patronize me, all of you, I know you. I know what is in your bank account for being my client. Thank you very much. I have to be sincere with you. You can see that consumer finance business is evolving. much more importantly, as Nigerian economy is actually metamorphosizing from cash economy to credit economy. And you know that the relationship between your income and your expenses is non-linear. And much more importantly, when there is a challenge of inflation and then interest rates are high, you actually need a support that can actually help you to finance your dreams and to achieve your goals in life. I am here today to announce to you that anything you need in your life cycle, I'm here to help you to achieve that particular goal. So I would like to say this, even maybe starting for your salary. If your salary, there is a gap in your salary, I can close the gap for you. I have a solution for you. Talk to me. I have a quick loan that is called Cash Now. And then it's able to provide you a velocity to speed up the rate at which you achieve your goal. And also, not talking about that one only, we want to involve and show our presence in your mobility. I have a car loan for you, maybe new or pre-owned. Then we have a relationship with our vendors. Maybe you can see new design of jettons around today and you want to cruise like T2. You can talk to me. I will finance it for you. So, and also you look at it, we are talking that because this particular organization is very big in ESG, we have actually designed and developed products that can actually take care of that particular aspect in your life. They are climate mitigation products that can actually help you in transiting or in acquire full in terms of the climate innovative products like e-vehicles. We can finance it for you. Talk to us. Like the solar system, talk to us. Much more importantly, because we discover that the opportunities in the consumer finance business is very huge. We are evolving in terms of we are moving our existing credit financing model into, we are evolving into a diversified asset. We are diversifying to become an assets lenders. So talk to us. Apart from your equities you do or you see invest, apart from assets back that we are doing for our client, you can also talk to us because we can finance your education loan, we can do asset back loan for you, we can do asset acquisition finance, including the phone you are using, we can finance this for you. So as a result of this, as my time is going, there are opportunities, like my GCO usually say, that if you can envision it, you can achieve it. Here, my chief economics will open your eyes to opportunities in the market, but talk to us so that we can finance it for you, so that we achieve your achievement. Thank you.
Exceptional. I can assure you that that's the most loved man, apart from our group CFO, CEO in the United Capital PLC. His award indeed is in our First bank account. Your reward is in heaven. God bless you. Thank you very much. Please let's put our hands together for him. I mean, it makes the impossibilities possible, and he's very passionate about the business he's doing. He finances solar, he finances all manner of things, and kind of structure. Just speak to him. He and his team, they package things together, and that's what the world is going to. And that's how to drive growth. In developed countries, you can spend the money that you do not have. That's why jobs are created. That's why growth is accelerated. So it makes it happen through diligence. And one of the things that you didn't mention is the way it packages the loan is such that, which is better than a lot of people have seen in the industry. You don't have to pay every month, the interest every month. You are allowed to pay every 6 months. You remember in finance, and you can even do it yourself. If you pay the interest every month, it's more expensive for you actually. And it could be more burdensome. If you take position in the equities market, for instance, you may not use your money to pay the interest. You can use the return that you get from the stocks to pay both the principal and the interest. And after 6 months, you can still roll it over for 1 year. But it could be very brutal if you don't want to pay his loan. So please, pay his money. Thank you very much, everyone. Please, let's put our hands together for all our MDs. Now, we are going into the section of question and answer now. Please, our online audience, we've got some of your questions and we will be taking your questions. So if you have questions, please, it could be on the things that you have discussed or the things we haven't discussed that you want to know about. But the point is that if you ask me questions that I don't know, I will give it back to you as an assignment. And you must submit it tomorrow. So please, if you have questions, please, you can just show your hands and then, okay. Who is with the mic, please? We're going to count now. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, thank you. Beyond the, please let's make it short. And then I just want to, because of our time, I want to crave your indulgence that if someone has answered, ask your question and you are satisfied with the response you get, please, we can allow you to go. Because we are still going to attend to the online audience as well. Please, let's quickly do that. I don't have anyone at this side, so let's start with the woman there. The woman first. Ladies first.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Kehinde Jayaba from Tribune newspaper. Given the present realities as in the Nigerian economy, what should we, the investors, should be optimistic about in the next 12 months? Thank you.
Thank you. So what should we be optimistic about in the next 12 months? So I have the authority. Me. I should take it. Okay. When the group CEO says I should take it, how do I delegate that one? Okay. So next question, please.
My name is Chris Ugu. I write for the Westerland newspaper. What does the next chapter look like for United Capital? And what would you want this room to be remembered about the group?
Thank you. I will delegate upward. Group CEO. Next question, please.
Thank you. My name is Adeleke Oladimiji. I represent retail investors. I would like to ask, first of all, a vibrant company like us, like United Capital, I believe is that time we have a befitting head office that will add most to our status as a company that is generating such a huge billions in terms of revenue. So what are the things you are looking up to this so that we have a very befitting head office?
Thank you very much.
And one more question, sir. Another question I would like to ask, you're talking about expanding into Africa, which I see it as a very, very high risk. I know of a bank in 3 years ago, they were unable to pay dividend just because of the loss they acquired in Ghana branch, in Ghana aspect of their business. Expanding business is a thing that I would like you to be very, very meticulous about because of the risk involved. Because we not like a situation whereby when you now bring the account to us, we see profits in Nigeria and one African country will just come with loss and we erode all the profits. So these are the things we have experienced in the bank in the past, especially in financial institutions that have subsidiaries in other African countries. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I have 2 questions for our group CEO. No, 3 questions now.
Three.
What is the next
question? So after this question, I will quickly take the responses to the 4 questions, then we continue quickly.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Oluwaseun. I work as an analyst. One of the key questions I would love to ask is the fact that I can see that there are strategic expansions into African countries. What's the outlook for, what's the position on the company in terms of allowing investors in Nigeria taking equity stakes in some of the equities that are listed in this market? And also in terms of expansion into some of these countries, are we also going to see a situation whereby investors in this market also can also access products in the Nigerian market? Thank you.
It's okay. So thank you so much. I think I should start from there. That is part of, if you hear when I had my welcome address, it's a major part of our focus. And the bottom line going forward, and which is going to speak to part of the future we see, the future we see is to have a platform that will give every of our clientele, every of them, access to trade in any market they so wish, across our footprint, using technology. So either you are in Nigeria, you're in Cote d'Ivoire, you are in Ethiopia, you are in Rwanda, you are Burkina Faso, you are in Senegal, and you see opportunity in Nigeria, you can trade. Using our link, is about integrating Africa in that line, which is very, very critical. So be rest assured that is the future we see, and we are putting all structure in place to ensure we're able to achieve that. And going back to the next question that talks about the future is clear. We started as a a capital market operator. We moved to the next level of being a full financial services group. And we're transiting now to a Pan-Africa. So the future is clear. The journey is, the footprint across the journey is notable, and we will continue. Now is full Pan-Africa in our view, because we see opportunity beyond the shore of Nigeria. And that takes me again quickly to the question. We totally agree with you, and I must commend you for that question. The risk in going to Africa is there. But one thing, for the student of financial management, we say the higher the risk, the higher the return. For us, what has helped us thus far is not to see the challenges, but to see the inherent opportunities in the challenges. Yes, they are, and we take careful, access and review of institutions that fail, moving from one, maybe they've been performing very well here now, they move to another place, they fail. All of these, and that's why we have our research unit. We continue to know what changed. And I recall in my opening remarks, I talked so much about risk and risk management. I want to assure you that every of our operations across this country, we control the controlling power in terms of risk aperture sits in Nigeria here. In terms of technology, sits in Nigeria here. We look at areas that failure could, creep in, and we ensure that we have a very watertight risk structure and framework. Not only that, subject to review every time. As things are changing in those countries, we continue to change our risk assessment, risk framework, risk policy that guides that. We thank you for this, and be rest assured we will continue to pay attention to the area of risk as we go ahead in our Pan-Africa foray. The other one you talk about our head office. Thank you so much. I can assure you it's work in progress. If an institution like us, if you want to build head office, it's not a thing we achieve in 1 month. You should know. It's a long-stand thing, such that it will stand the test of time. But I can assure you, this is a major consideration, and we are putting structure together to ensure in no distance time, we invite you to come and, open our head office with us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, CEO, Group CEO. Maybe I should quickly answer the first one so that I can close that one there. What should we be optimistic about? We need to be optimistic about the economy in that they are driving, there are structural, there are policies that are altering the structure of the Nigerian economy and open up opportunities in various sectors of the economy. And I will give you something very quickly. The government says that we should not be exporting raw materials. That is huge opportunities for us to add values to the things that we produce in Nigeria and here. And I will give you the statistics very simple. If you Google today, and as you are seated here now, you can ChatGPT or you Copilot the total market value, market size of chocolate worldwide. And then check same ChatGPT, the market size of cocoa. Cocoa is produced in Nigeria, Ghana, and Sierra Leone. Ivory Coast. And then you now look at the disparity. They can tell you that the market size of chocolate worldwide is about $140 billion. Meanwhile, cocoa is not more than about maybe 10 billion or 5 to 10 billion. You can check it, you say it. Now, what's the difference? The difference is in value addition. And that's the problem we have in Nigeria. Since I was born, we've been having crude oil, that we're exporting crude oil. And when we export crude like that crude yam, crude whatever it is, we're exporting jobs. So the further government is going to be very deliberate about this, to say you cannot export certain raw things, means that our children who are leaving university will get a job. Imagine the number of people that are working with Dangote refinery today. I was at that refinery in 2014, where Alhaji Aliko Dangote himself spoke to us. I was doing my SMP in Lagos Business School then, and they took us there about 12 years ago. 2 years later, I was doing my MBA in the same school. They took us to the place. And in the last 4 or 5 years, I was very close to that program. So really, that's another something I would need to be very happy about. The infrastructure upgrade that are going on across the country means that the ease of doing business will increase. So you can move around the country, can move your goods around from the farmland for the factory to the market better. So I just give you something. And again, in financial market, we expect stable exchange rate. We'll expect that market to continue to grow. There are opportunities there. Those are the things that we need to be happy about in the Nigerian economy. Thank you very much.
So next rounds of questions. Next rounds of questions, please. Let's be fast.
Thank you very much. My name is Jide Ajia. I work with the Punch newspaper. My question is on sustaining the momentum, and I would like GCFO or GECU to answer the question. The question is on what's in the pipeline for the second half that this audience should be watching, and what gives you confidence in the trajectory? Thank you.
That's okay. Next.
So we have, I'm sorry. We have just 2 more people after you, please, for here, and then we now move to online audience. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Helen Oji is my name. I write for the Guardian newspaper. One of the speakers, Mr. Aberdeen, talked about low retail participation. I want to know what United Capital is actually doing to deepen retail participation. I just want specifically to know about it. Then I want to know how technology can help assist in this regard. Thank you.
It's okay.
The last person.
Good afternoon. My name is Pastor Lagoke Samson Olusegun, a shareholder of this great company, an investor. Permit me to comment because I feel happy, excited. Permit me to commend our indefatigable group CEO for a wonderful. Please a round of applause for him, Mr. Shaggy, and all the MDs. My question is 8, but I will reduce it to 3. 1, how does the management balance shareholder returns with needs to reinvest in future growth opportunity? 2, how is the company positioning itself against increasing competition from fintech and other investment firms? 3, what rule will the management are put in place for artificial intelligence and digital technologies play in enhancing customer experience and operational efficiency? Thank you very much.
It's okay. Thank you so much. Because of our time, please, we want to plead. You want to ask the other man there too want to ask. Please. You can note your question. You can note your question because we have so many people. In fact, we have a long list of questions. See, the essence of this discourse is, 1, to be transparent, 2, and to get feedback. Not all the feedback can be taken here, but we'll be excited to harvest all this feedback. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. Definitely get back to you. Mr. Pastor Adegoke, I want to sincerely appreciate you. You've been one of the long-standing shareholder of United Capital, and we've been on a journey for quite a very long time. So thank you for attending this. We want to assure you in terms of, it's because time will not permit us. This type of a session can take us a whole day. If we want to go into nitty-gritty of what we are doing in terms of how much we have spent on technology till date, I can assure you in terms of artificial intelligence, in fact, we have a committee within the system on artificial intelligence for your information. So there is nothing, we are not leaving any stone unturned at all. We are poised because we know we are today's institution setting for the future. So we are particular about the way we situate the organization. So we are ready. We are putting structure in place in terms of technology, in terms of knowledge. We are necessary to learn about the direction of things. We commend the position of our regulator, led by Dr. Agama, that Security and Exchange Commission, that has, championed, a lot of digital economy development within the capital market ecosystem. We are totally in support of that. And that is where we are positioning ourselves. It might interest you to note also that most of these things we're doing, you recall early in the year, after our AGM, we were able to say that we happen to be the first, at least, institution to meet our capital requirement across all our businesses. We were intentional about it because we know the future we see require additional capital, require funding, require, some capital assets that is going to change our stories. So we are focusing on that. And I think your second question is on fintechs, also on fintechs, the threat that the fintechs. Yes, we acknowledge there is always a threat. We do carry out SWOT analysis. And one of the SWOT analysis, and my team are here, they will confirm to you, last year, we're saying our stage of play is changing. Before now, you do not see much of fintech playing in the capital market. What you see now is they are coming in gradually. I can tell you in the next 18 months, it's going to be a different story entirely. Be rest assured, we are aware of it. We are positioning to ensure we are nimble in our decision. Because one of the major gain or positives of fintech is that they are nimble in their decision making. They are ready to attack the market at the nick of time. So as we grow big, be rest assured, we are not growing big as another elephant that will be difficult to carry his leg. We will be nimble in our decision making. We will be nimble in response to market, and we will even be proactive, not reactive, to ensure that as things unfold in terms of government policies, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, we can't be talking about digital assets. We can't be talking about cryptocurrency, even in the capital market. But now, as it's coming, we will immediately see it coming. We are positioning ourselves to ensure that we're able to take advantage of that. So be rest assured. In terms of shareholders, what do we need to do? thank God you have been a shareholder all along. You have benefited from dividend, interim dividend, final dividend. You have benefited from bonus issues. In fact, if there's anyone, if you value what you've benefited for United Capital till date, you agree with me that is worthwhile investment in your portfolio. One thing we can assure you is that please don't sell. That's it. Don't sell. This is just so. This is you are just going to start the journey now because what lies ahead, what we see ahead, and I said it, and one of my colleagues, emphasize it also that if you can envision it, you can achieve it. What we envision, we know we can achieve. God's on our side, and believing that the shareholder, they are smiling to some other company with big dividend. Wait and see. It will come from United Capital stable very soon. Thank you so much. For Madam, you talk about readiness, and I think I've answered. So technology is key. We cannot, run from it. So what we are doing is that we are careful. And in terms of retail growth, by the way, and that answered the earlier question, in terms of retail growth, without technology, we can't be everywhere. If you have to use DSAs, that's direct sales agents. I don't know how many we're going to, if you want to, within Nigeria, not to even talk of within Africa. So for us, it's about the game of technology. Retail space is about game of technology, and hopefully the type of commitment and investment that is going into that space, I think it should be able to give us what is required to efficiently play in that space. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Group CEO. I have a couple of questions here. I'm going to go through them very quickly. Is all your subsidiaries fully capitalized? The answer is yes. The Group CEO mentioned that, and we sent a note to the stock exchange a few months ago on that. Is there a loan for SME product? The answer, yes, you have a loan for SME products. The MD of our microfinance business talked about that, so you can please contact her, and then you will be treated well. Okay, there's a question about, we have a director of retail and digital business who will answer this question. A question about our app. He said that how reliable is our digital app? So can you please give him the mic, please? And he's the man in charge of that.
Quickly, the mic.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, yeah, so the app is called Invest Now. So in any of the stores, you can look for Invest Now. I can tell you for free that is actually very reliable, but much more than that, we're also very responsive. So if you have downloaded it a month ago, you will have seen there's a new update. We have brought in new features and very more interactive and very easy to access. And of course, we're also bringing on top of that, we are going to have a chatbot, so where you can real time talk to us and get your responses. But go and check out Invest Now. It's one of the best we can see in the market today. Thank you very much.
It's just that I didn't want to go into it, but watch out for him. Watch out for this man in the next weeks to come. As we go ahead.
Thank you very much, Director. So there's another question about artificial intelligence, which the Group CEO has answered, and I think so. I'm not going to go into that. So how do you, Group CFO, can you please answer this question? Can you please give him the mic? How do we balance the return and on future growth? And then, Abidin, please prepare to answer the question of the retail platform.
I've answered that.
Great. Okay, that's fine.
So, when I made my presentation earlier, I talked about the need to retain, profit. And the idea is not just to retain, it's to retain and reinvest in opportunities that we see in the market. And the belief is that you don't want to leave money on the table. So as those opportunities present themselves, we take advantage of those opportunities by reinvesting in those opportunities in order to drive future growth. And that was why we decided, to present to the board a 30 kobo, per share dividend payment. And the whole idea is that, look, let's reinvest whatever we have now, make more money for the shareholders, and at the end of the year, we should be celebrating another landmark in our history as a group. Thank you.
Okay, so I am going to kindly request the MD of our consumer finance to answer this question. Who says, just briefly, sir, this number one, how can I assess loan facility from you, from the man who spoke?
Thank you very much. To assess loan from us is very simple. You can just send us the mail, and I would like to know specifically which loan exactly do you need. Like I said, we finance everything about you. If you don't believe it, please try me. You will now know that I can do everything. I'm not God, but we have given the opportunity because we know that human lifestyle needed to be financed because there is always a gap. And that gap we have identified, and we can block that gap in a much more ethical lending for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Adekunle MD, for that confidence that you have given to us again. And indeed, it's not just a mere, it backs his words with action. And I think one of the things that we enjoy from him is the speed with which he executes transactions. How many hours, once the documentation are complete? How many hours? How many days? 24 hours. So once everything is okay, 24 hours, you get your money disbursed to you. Okay, so thank you very much. In the interest of our time, we will not be able to take any further question, but please, the conversation will continue beyond this place. If you have further questions, you can please reach out to us. After this session also, we'll be available to interact with you so that we can network more. And then the goals, one of the goals of this session is that we will be closer to you. And then we hope that we'll continue with these engagements beyond now. At this time, I'd like to please hand over to our group CEO to give a final.
No, I think for me is about vote of thanks. You should just take the vote of thanks, Dr. Oduri.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, and good afternoon once again. Thank you for being here. We're excited that you came, but more importantly, that you stayed to the end. So thank you for being here and listening to the journey of United Capital PLC, an institution that has been in existence for more than 6 decades. We do not take this for granted. As we leave, I just want to remind us of 4 priorities. A lot of the things that will be spoken across the business from the group CEO, as well as from our group CFO. United Capital is in a building stage. We are building products, distribution, expansion into new markets. We are not leaning on our existing model. What brought us to this point cannot take us to the future. And we realize that the market is changing very fast, and we are also changing along with it. The second thing is United Capital has stood the test of time. How many institutions can you see in the market today who can boast that we have been there for a long time? We've seen good seasons, I must tell you that. We've also seen bad seasons. We've navigated a lot of market cycles and dynamics, and we have shown that we are building to last. We are not just building for the short term. The third thing is the pride of United Capital is in the people. It's not in the building, it's not in the portfolio, it's not in the assets under management, it's actually in the people. I've been here for 18 and a half years, so I can tell you that yes, United Capital invests in the people. and will continue to invest in our people for the long-term growth and development of the institution. And then lastly, governance is critical for us. You know, the hallmark of being a financial institution is trust. If people don't trust you, they will not bring their money, they will not bring their business to you. You know, so we take governance very seriously. We do not take it for granted. We'll continue to ensure that we build the infrastructure that will continue to strengthen our risk management and governance architecture. So thank you very much for being here. You know, thank you for supporting this great institution. Till we meet again, safe trip to your destination.
Thank you very much, MD. Thank you very much. We are grateful to you. You can still wait. There are times for us to connect with one another. And then I think there is a little package for you outside. Please ensure that you pick yours before you leave. Thank you very much, and wish you safe journey back to your various destinations. God bless.